woke up late. Oh, yeah, I didn't get to bed on time last night, so I definitely overslept this morning. But no excuses. I'm still getting it in. Just dropped my daughter off to school, so making the run into the gym now. Oh, I feel good. I'm keeping my diet pretty much on point. I haven't been doing a very good job tracking my calories specifically. Basically, what I've been trying to do is just ensure that I'm getting at least a heavy dose of protein with every meal. And ultimately, that's the only way that I really see it being sustainable for me. I don't do good with tracking macros. I don't do good with making sure that I input every single thing into a spreadsheet or MyFitnessPal or whatever other macro tracking app there are. It just doesn't work for me. And plus, I always get frustrated because it's never exact. It's never. I get annoyed with the cooked versus uncooked, the having to weigh out every bit of every ingredient or every size. And then you find things that you're using ingredients that you can't just scan the barcode. They don't show up in the app. So it becomes too much of a pain for me. And then I never end up using it. And to be honest, I think that's how most people should approach it anyway. Unless you are an actual bodybuilder with, very concrete goals and very concrete macros you need to meet every day, you really don't need to track your macros like that. Yeah, it's important for weight loss, calories in, calories out, but for, I would say, 95% of people, it doesn't really matter. And usually it just ends up becoming more of a hassle, and you end up, it becomes such a problem that you stop doing it entirely anyway. So there is one hack that I found that I think it's just a brilliant way, though, to make sure that you're getting enough protein. And that's if you look at the protein that it contains inside inside whatever it is, whatever serving, and you multiply it by 10. And as long as the calories per serving, as long as that doesn't exceed the calories per serving, then that is a base level of protein. That is a decent level of protein within the food. So if you were, if you were looking at a high protein bagel and it had 15 grams of protein and the bagel itself had 180 calories, right? So you just take the 15 times by 10, and you have 150, and it's almost identical to the calories in the bagel. So that's a good protein to calorie ratio. Whereas if it only had 3 grams of protein, and now you're only getting 30 grams total, or 30, times by 10 you get 30, and the total calories is 180. Then that's not a good protein to calorie ratio. Right, because what is it? There's 4 calories per gram of protein. So I don't know. I found that a very easy hack to use to really make sure that you're getting getting enough protein in the day. So, and I've always made it a point to try to maximize. I like high protein foods. So I'll snack on cottage cheese. I liked cottage cheese before it was popular. I always find that funny when people are like, "Oh, another recipe with cottage cheese that gets blended up." Well, yeah, I mean, because it's cheap and easy protein, and most people don't have a problem digesting it. You usually just grab a tub of it, eat half a cup, and there's 15 grams of protein right there. So a lot of people don't like Greek yogurt. That's a better alternative to Greek yogurt. One of my favorite snacks at night, and I posted about this before, is Greek yogurt mixed in with a scoop of protein powder, with a little bit of oatmeal mixed in. And what I did last night for the first time I tried out is I did it was vanilla Greek yogurt with my vanilla protein powder, with a packet of apple cinnamon apple cinnamon oatmeal. And so it was uncooked, so it was tough. But oatmeal's tough and chewy anyway. I mean, it's just texture. But it was good. I liked it. I ended up actually mixing in a little bit of just a splash of milk to kind of thin it out a little bit because the consistency was a little bit too thick. I mean, I like things thick, but that was a little bit hard to swallow. So, but yeah. So today, just gonna keep chugging away. It's gonna be a pull day today. I'll focus on back movements with Vise. I really enjoy a push-pull workout. I used to try to follow a traditional, 5-day split bodybuilding routine, and I had decent success with it. But just for what I found I respond best to, push-pull. It works best. I feel like I really get that mind-muscle connection going, and it's just I feel like I see results very quickly with that. What I try to do is I also try to combine that with drop sets. Because I'm getting older, like I said, I'm almost 40. I don't even use free weights as much anymore. I like to use the isolated machines that Planet Fitness has. I used to be hardcore against those, like, oh, you can't use machines. It's the range of movement, and it's restricting it. You need to avoid all that. No, it really, as long as you're pushing the weight, and as long as you're feeling the muscle interact, and I feel I get a better, I feel a better connection with the muscle when I'm able to isolate it like that. Instead of trying to focus on balancing a dumbbell that, if I have to go lighter because I can't balance it very well, then I'm not really exhausting the muscle the way that it should. Now, are there ways to work around that? Go lighter, go higher reps, and work your way up. Use drop sets or superset or giant sets. Yeah, but that's not how I like to work out. And ultimately that's how people need to realize when they start following a lot of these routines that they find online, is that they're meant to be suggestions at first. They're not meant to be hard, this is what you need to do and you will get these results guaranteed. Because everybody's body responds differently. Everybody has different health conditions. Biomechanically, you're stronger in certain ways than others. And as long as you're feeling the weight, ultimately, that's what you need to be feeling. That's what the goal is. So that's why I focus on using the machines more so than the free weights usually. Now, are there some free weights I use? Yeah, I still use dumbbells for shoulder flies, or shoulder raises, things like that. Yes. Big fan of the Easy Bar for skull crushers and bicep curls, absolutely. But for doing most of my shoulder movements, I've always had a weaker left shoulder than my right shoulder, and I think it stems from when I broke my collarbone when I was a kid. It's chronically always been weaker, and especially and again, because I'm getting older, I want to protect my joints. I want to make sure I'm not hurting myself just to prove that I'm lifting a free weight instead of a machine. So yeah, that's what's on my mind for today. Just reinforcing, just stay consistent. It's day 2. I'm gonna keep this up. Got other stuff going on right now in day-to-day life that's distracting and stressful, but you can turn all that off for an hour when you get to the gym. Focus on the weight. It's always going to be there. 50 pounds is always 50 pounds. It's comforting to know that you don't have to think about that kind of stuff sometimes, and especially for somebody like me who's an overthinker. You get to turn the brain off and just focus on moving the weight. So anyhow, till tomorrow.